Welcome to Home Team Advantage. I'm Gary Gimbetti along with Mike Egan. After a 1-week hiatus, we're back on the air. Hopefully that's good, but we never get any feedback, so we don't know.
Well, I had got some emails that I'm supposed to be more less jolly and more serious.
Oh, so you're not supposed to tear me down like you usually do?
It's always
I'm just kidding. I know. It doesn't get me mad. I'm not upset about anything.
I think it was your mom.
It's kind of funny. Yeah, probably. Don't cut my son down. Let him be. But we have some athletic events hopefully happening. Tennis was canceled or postponed yesterday because all of a sudden the snow started falling at about noon. I was complaining to Ron before the show that it never warms up here.
No.
Never does. And we've lived up here for a long time, and we should know better, but...
Just another indication that we should have a...
indoor field house or something, or a dome to play some softball games in, and... You know, that was a proposal. I heard one guy talking about it out by just south of Walmart there. There's an area that could put a dome up to play some softball. And, of course, the field house would be fantastic to hold some track meets in it. And, of course, I don't know how to get things going. I'm not that kind. I don't have that kind of mind. But
we got to buy that new $5 lottery ticket.
Yeah. Maybe if we won $1 billion, we could get some going here. But then there's always the issue of who's going to take care of it. Well, is it going to be the city, or is it going to be the school, or is it going to, well, why can't you just have a combination of both?
I think if you get a private investor to build it, and then he would rent it to those other entities, that it could survive itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you'd have your own people take care of it.
Yeah. But I know you wouldn't want to be a part of that because you've just got done selling everything. So
I would love to be part of that.
Oh, you would be? Oh, good.
You know,
well,
when I win the lottery.
Yeah, well, then they can name it after you.
I've been to Lake Superior's complex, which is beautiful. A week ago, or 2 weeks ago, as I mentioned on our last show, I was in Bemidji. Bemidji. And it's an older facility, but still, you know, they got the 4 courts inside for basketball and tennis and the track, and really nice facility. So, you know, if you're going to compete and going to survive, you got to have the facility to do it. And I agree that it's something that should be done.
Mm-hmm. See, I did and if it had to come to that, it would be fine, but I don't like the 200-yard track. I prefer to have a 400-yard track, so you have an indoor facility. And then somebody mentioned putting a swimming pool in there. Maybe you could put a 50-meter swimming pool.
Oh, yeah. Why not just take the one at the Lincoln and make it a community pool?
Well.
Oops.
Oh, yeah. But, yeah, no, hey, the suggestions are there. You can't ever say you haven't ever received suggestions.
Yes.
Especially from your sports editor. You should take up his word because I'm always right. Just ask my wife.
Yeah. And 2 of our viewers out there are going, hey, frick and frack are at it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 of them, yeah. So get something done in this city. I mean, they wanted a new sheet of ice, and we still haven't done that. And it's just, we talk about things and no action's ever taken on it. Yeah. So,
but you know, you talk about it, and unfortunately, we're going to be coming in some tough times with the mines, you know, shutting down, the school, the problem with that, and it's just a tough time to do things, but there's always light at the end of the tunnel. So,
and now that we got our complaining out of the way,
yep,
we'll talk about scheduled for today for boys tennis. They're at Rock Ridge at the Indoor Tennis Club and Pickleball Club. So they play at 4 o'clock. That's always a rivalry with Rock Ridge, and they'll see just where they stand right now because they just did beat Aiken 5-2 on Tuesday, I believe. The first time outdoors. Well, no, they've been practicing outdoors a couple times, but first meet outdoors and handled it pretty well.
Has Coach Conda ever mentioned to you the difference between playing indoors and outdoor? I mean, it has to be.
No, well, of course, no wind.
Weather.
Yeah, I mean, but he said that down in Aiken, he said there was hardly any wind, so it was really nice
Good.
conditions down there to play. But there you go. You had a couple guys that were on the tennis team last year did not go out for the tennis team this year. They're playing other sports, which it gives other kids opportunities to play.
Right.
But if you had those two players, I think they'd be pretty solid. But jumping sports, that's okay.
But they're playing another
Yeah,
sport.
as long as they're doing it. Yep. Then at 4:30 tomorrow, the girls softball, or today, the girls softball team, or the softball team is at Rock Ridge at their softball complex. So there we go again. All right. So they got those nice
Is there
fields
something
over
wrong
there.
with that nice new field that we have for softball?
Well, yeah, but it's not. It should be separated. They should have separate turf field for that.
Oh boy,
But I like that field.
Oh, you're tough.
Well, the only
You're
problem
tough.
is in sitting in the press box, which is nice. I'm not going to
Yep,
complain.
you can't see what
but
goes-
it's pretty far away from the field, and
Yeah.
you can't really take pictures from up there. But
God
So,
forbid you come out of that box
I
of yours
know.
and take a picture.
well, I got to do the public address, so I can't.
Oh,
really
that's
come out
right.
of
You're
there.
a double dipper.
Yeah, I'm the.
The voice.
No, I'm not going to say that because I'm not the voice of the Blue Jackets.
Yeah.
I help out the athletic
just-
directors, no matter who they are, and
Just open the window and go like
that. Yeah. But I like helping out the athletic
And
directors.
that's great.
Yeah, and it's fun to do. So I'm at the games anyway. I may as well.
So I have to ask you ever get in a point, do they mention the players' names when you're announcing?
Yeah.
Over the PA, or do you just do it over the, you ever screw one up really bad?
I'm sure there's been times. Yes, I know there was
So,
a.
you know you did when everybody on the team turns around and looks at you and goes,
Well, yeah, and then if you say it wrong, believe me, you'll find out you said it wrong because somebody will yell it to you from sitting in the stands, and so yeah, no, I'm sure I've butchered some names before. So, but you got to be very careful when you turn off the mic,
right.
because some of them are pretty sensitive, and you can hear what you're saying up there. So, but then so that's the softball team, the baseball team. Let's see, that does it for Thursday. So on Friday, the baseball team's traveling to Maple Grove to play Rock Ridge. Surprisingly, I mean, you said they're taking a trip to go to a Saints game, so that's one of the reasons why they're going down there.
Our director, producer extraordinaire.
Or somebody
had
said
that
that.
information.
Yes, so,
At least the JV is doing that.
Well, at least the JV's doing that.
well, okay, well, I'm sure the varsity's doing it too,
Yeah.
so. It's kind of a shocker that they're playing Rock Ridge down there. You think they'd play Maple Grove.
Could be a home game for the Blue Jackets.
Well, that might be. And then the boys tennis team, their makeup with Duluth Marshall, which was supposed to be yesterday, will be Friday at 4:00.
That is here.
That's here. And then there's girls varsity softball at 4:30. They played Duluth Marshall
Here.
here. Yes,
Nice.
at Cheever Field.
Good.
So they'll be their first time out there. But I know the softball team played Tuesday, I believe, in Moose Lake. They played Moose Lake Willow River
I thought they played last night.
in Willow River. No, I don't know if they.
Oh.
I don't think they were scheduled for that. Maybe I don't know. Wednesday's not in here anymore, but
Yeah, I did. Cause the only reason I say that because I was at the school, and I noticed that the girls' softball team were dressed and
Oh.
ready to go somewhere. So
well, maybe that was that. Maybe that was JV. Maybe they're
Could
supposed
be.
to play. They couldn't have played yesterday. There's no way they could have played yesterday.
we're gonna have to get rid of the people that give us this information and
That's right.
go back to our ESPN days.
So that's
Ron's over there going, "Hey, I'm done."
yeah. And then on Saturday, the track and field, they head down to St. Francis, both boys and the girls, for a meet down there at 10:00 in the morning. So stuff is starting to pick up here as long as the weather cooperates, and we say that every spring. But
50 tomorrow.
well, I know it was supposed to be 50 like on Wednesday. I thought
Well,
when I looked last week, it said 50. That warm weather is always a week away, and then when it comes, it never is exactly the same as what you saw the week before. So
I was talking to a friend of mine that went to Laughlin, Nevada last week. 100 degrees.
oh, Nice.
I go, how was it? He goes, okay, until they closed the pool because it was so windy. It was blowing dust all over
Oh,
everybody.
okay, well, yeah,
So-
I take 100 degrees over 35 degrees any day.
Me too.
Some people might not like that, but I don't mind it. So that pretty much covers the weekend in sports here. I can't think of any.
And college doesn't really, the men's baseball.
Well, they beat Mesabi Range a couple times, and then they've split with Rainy River a couple times. But we have our preview section coming out on the 19th, and he's very optimistic about this team. There's only like 4 or 5 sophomores on it, but it says his freshmen are pretty talented.
Good.
So he said it would be amiss to think that they can't win the Northern Division, but at least they have to finish in the top 3 to
Right.
advance to the playoffs or the postseason. So, hey, good luck to them. I hope I get to
Hey.
see them play one time.
At least we have a baseball team at the college.
Yeah, because we don't have
No
softball.
softball.
And I don't know why, but,
Participation,
well,
right?
yeah, it's that one last chance for some of these women to play, and they don't take advantage of it. But now I know schooling can get in the way. That's a possibility, because if you have a lot of women in the nursing program, maybe
Yeah.
their clinicals get in the way, and they don't want to.
Jeopardize that.
Yeah, that's a fact. So, but they had lost. I don't know if they're ever going to get women's basketball back, and I don't know. Hopefully they can, and hopefully softball comes back, but we'll see. Because once you lose something, it's hard to get it back.
Oh, look at the football and the hockey program.
Well, yeah, hockey I think was just a numbers game with the teams. Teams were dropping out,
Yep.
so it wasn't. Back in the day, Rapids would have a team, and I think Mesabi had a team, and
Falls.
Rainy River had a team. I don't know if Ely ever had a team. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
remember. I don't want to discount them because they might have.
Yeah. But again, it came down to financial.
Mm.
It just became too expensive to run a program, which is unfortunate.
Well, yeah, but it's fun. I mean, it's fun to go watch those college.
Oh, yeah.
Football. I really did miss football when it first left, but then I guess you get so used to it that you don't even think about it anymore. But
Just
hell, no, you could have if you had men's hockey, women's hockey, you'd grab a lot more students. If you had football, you'd grab hopefully 50 or 60 more guys to
Well,
come
we-
to your schools.
We
and-
used to have a semi-pro hockey team that lasted 3 months
Yeah.
at the most. We had a AAA or semi-pro baseball team that lasted 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
You bring this stuff here, and you got to get the support to continue to have it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I still remember some of those Ranger games. When Iron Rangers played, they were good hockey,
Mhm.
good players. Especially when the Russians came
Mhm.
here.
Well, and they do have the Wilderness team, I believe, over in they play out of Point Lakes or
Oh, okay.
Eveleth, so they still have a little bit of a junior hockey presence. I haven't seen much about them lately, though. I hope everything went well with that league.
Well, it seems like they have a new coach every year.
Well, yeah, who knows?
But
So that does it for that. Well, we got lots of time left.
ooh, that's a different. Well, we can always fill it with what we have to say.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, before we go on any further, though, I know we don't give much credit to our producer, director extraordinary, Mr. Ron Workala.
He probably doesn't
So I
want
think
any.
well, people got to know that there is a guy over there.
Yes.
That has his phone that's always on, ready to go. He's got all the inside information when it comes to the schedules. So we just want to know how much we appreciate him.
We
what he
do
does.
he when we say something stupid, he usually edits it out.
Yeah. The only problem is when he comes to work with his pajamas on.
Well,
That's a little
yeah, that's a little too much right there.
If I had to edit out the stupid stuff, we wouldn't have a show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
I don't know if you heard that or not, but
He said he sleeps in the nude.
Under my clothes.
but the one thing the last chance Bonspiel
There you go.
is coming. It's
Yes.
started yet on Wednesday night. Now starting, I believe, probably at 4 o'clock today. They'll start curling around the clock. They had 88 teams sign up for it, and there was only like 6 games last night, I think, which is kind of strange because back when I used to play in it, the working man draw had two separate times on Wednesday night.
Wow.
That's how many people or how many people signed up for it and had that. But now it's just like down to, it's
So-
4 sheets of ice
They had the main sheet, right, up the,
up on the in the arena. Yeah.
so, but you got 88 teams and there's 4 individuals per team, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, it's still not as big as turnout, where they had hundreds before, but at least it's still going.
Well, it's still a good turnout, and you're probably not getting. I don't know if they had many Canadian teams sign up for it, but the
Hey,
exchange rate
Oh.
isn't very good, so I don't know if it's worth for them to come down or not. But
yeah, maybe put a tariff on them.
well, yeah, maybe they did, and that's
We're
why
gonna tariff that broom, bud.
maybe they're mad. Maybe they're mad because of the tariffs they put
Yeah.
up there. So.
Well, they took them off now.
Well, that's good.
For a
Now,
while.
if the stock market comes back,
No, no,
my
no.
401ks will start
Yeah.
going up, and
We're not gonna talk politics or
we're
religion,
not
right?
talking. We're just talking money. I want, then I can maybe retire sooner if my
Yeah.
401ks come up. So I'm happy about
Yeah,
that.
you don't want you and I to start talking politics.
No, because I don't know anything about it.
That makes 2 of us.
So we'll take it as it comes. But yeah, so hopefully, while the senior last chance was held Monday and Tuesday, and Paul Pustovar has won it again. He lost last year, which was like he had won 11 in a row or something, and then the Perkovich rink, the Chisholm Tire rink out of Chisholm or Hibbing, beat him last year. This year he beat the Gabardi rink. Joe wasn't playing on it because I think he had surgery or something, but it was a decent match. I think who was a skip? Well, Tony Barducci was the skip of the team. So
Do you have any breakdown as far as how many are men's team and women's teams as far as the numbers that participate?
well,
I mean, 50-50, 60-40?
yeah, I don't know. And no, there's not as many in the senior last chances. There's not as many women's. There's only 10, I think, women's teams. And a team from St. Paul won that one over Sue Perunovich. Sue looked like she had a really nice shot in the last end, and it hit the rock she wanted to hit, but she hit it too thin, and it rolled out, and they counted one to win it. But it looked like a really nice shot coming down there. She's a very good curler, and she just missed out by, and it's millimeters.
Yeah.
It comes down, because that's what John Schuster told me when I talked to him last weekend, because he's coming back up to defend his title. He's won 3 in a row, and he's won 4 total. I can't remember if it was 2012 or something. He was on a team that won it. And then in 22, 23, and 24, they won it. So he's coming back for his 5th, if he can get it. And no team has ever won 5. And he and Sean Rojeski have both won 4 for sure. And I don't know if Sean's curling this weekend, but if he was, he'd have his opportunity
Yeah.
to win.
Jared Allen's
his
not here,
5th.
huh?
No, I heard him being interviewed in Arizona the other day,
Oh.
so he's probably not playing in it. I don't know how serious he is with curling anymore. I haven't
Well,
heard
he made
much.
the Hall of Fame. What's he need curling for?
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, it's just something to do for him right
Yeah.
now, to bide his time.
All right, so we got curling out of the way. That's done. Let's go. You want to start with the Twins, or
We'll
you want to
start
start
with
with the?
Yeah, Twins are 3-8 heading into last night's game, and
Does anybody? What they got? I looked last night. They got like 4 guys batting over 200.
yeah, they're terrible. They're totally terrible at the plate. So I don't know what they work on during spring training.
Well, they have a new batting coach, don't
Well,
they?
yeah, no, I think they do have a new
Or
hitting coach. And
I turned the game on the other night, and what was it, the 5th inning, they already had 10 strikeouts. I
Yeah.
go, oh, they're really doing well again tonight.
yeah, and Buxton struck out 4 times
Oh,
in that game.
geez.
He didn't even play last night. So and Correa's hitting like 150.
Yep.
Buxton's down in the 100s. Matt Wallner,
He had a pretty good game last night.
maybe last night, but he's
He's
not a
not
leadoff hitter.
No.
I don't think he's a leadoff
No.
hitter. But you want to bat him down 4th, 5th, or 6th. I'm like, okay, fine. But he can't lead off for you. I don't care. I might not know anything because I'm not at their training camp or in their facility, but He's not a leadoff hitter.
Well, they got guys playing down there and hurt. I mean, this one kid the kid that played center field last night had the home run the night before. He's a new guy.
Oh, the Harrison Bader's
Bader.
hitting the best on
Yeah.
the team probably. He's got 3 home runs, 10
Yeah.
RBIs. He's done really well, or he's done well
Yep.
since coming over.
And then they got Frenchie. Is that the guy, the first baseman? I never heard of him.
Ty France.
Or France.
Yeah,
Frenchie.
he's not doing that. He's doing pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
I know the part of the game I watched last night he had a hit. So he's doing all right, but you go around the infield and well, Castro's doing all right. He made a nice play
play last
defensively
night.
last
Yeah.
night down the line. But you look out in the outfield, Larnick,
Ooh.
yeah, he's not hitting well. Bader was out in center field for Buxton, and he's doing well. And I can't remember who was in right field at the moment. But they're not, and they're catching. Those guys aren't hitting either.
Yeah.
And then you
Well, I
make
think Vasquez kind of past his prime anyways.
well, yeah. So I don't know why Jeffers isn't catching more, but Vasquez hit a double last night too. So
Yeah, but what do? They continue on the path they're going now? Is it change the manager or bring a player in? What do you do?
well,
First they got to get an owner,
well, yes, they need an owner,
which could be part of the problem.
which is not going to help this year by adding players because they don't. If free agency's done, and I'm sure there's nobody available out there anyway. But yeah, no, it's too early in the year. It's only 12 games now, and it's a 162 game season. So eventually
panic.
things will right itself out.
panic.
But you don't. That one year they fell out of the race in April.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that year.
Yep.
I mean, they were like 20,
Yep.
15 to 20 games under 500, and the season was over.
Yep.
I mean, you can't do that.
They should call the Yankees and get some of those cork bats that the Yankees have.
Well, yeah, they say they're legal, but it's hard to
Yeah,
when
I
you're
know.
hitting 9 home runs in a game. How
No.
legal are
Yeah,
those
now they're
bats?
investigating. They're going to check. Supposedly they were approved by the MLB, but now they're looking into it.
Oh, well, good. I'm
Oh.
glad. I hope maybe they'll have to forfeit all those home runs, forfeit those games.
For the bat, right, is what it.
No, what it is, they take an individual player and they study him by video and they see where he hits the ball the most on the bat. If it's in the center of the bat, tip of the bat, wherever that is. And so what they do is they move the cork in the bat to that sweet spot, which gives him an advantage over everybody else when it comes to hitting. So,
Well, yeah, I don't know the technology. There's smarter people than me. So.
oh yeah, well, it's not like the old wooden bats you and I used to
No,
play with.
No, not at
No.
all. But yeah, it's then I think my son told me the other night when they lost 2-1, they're the one. They might be the one and only team that's lost a game without giving up an earned run
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
I mean, and that's not a distinction you want.
Well, you can tell they're, even last night too, they're running the bases, they get picked off,
Oh.
they're terrible.
Yeah, Larnick ran too far off a second, got tagged out. Vasquez got picked
They
off
picked off a second.
after his double, and yeah, I don't know. But again, it's 12 games in. They have 50 more to go, or 150
50
more to go. So I'm sure it'll right themselves.
Are they home this weekend?
Yeah, they have Detroit coming
Detroit.
up, but now Lopez is out on the DL for a tight hamstring that he pulled the night he started, 2 nights
Oh.
ago. So now he's out. Royce Lewis can't help the club when you're sitting in the tub.
Yep. Yeah, he's got,
I mean, it was a strained hamstring. How bad is the strain?
yeah, well, it's the
And he's been out for 3 or 4 weeks already. It should be healed by now.
he's got the Buxton syndrome.
Well, I don't know.
And here's another guy, Buxton. You're still paying him millions and millions of dollars. And which he played 2 games so far.
Well, no, he's played all of them but one. He didn't play last night. He played in all but one, and then
yeah, but he hasn't done anything.
he got hit in the hand the other night, so I thought he was
Oh,
going to be
geez.
out with a broken finger, but evidently that's not the case. So
Oh, Brooks Lee, where's he at?
Brooks Lee had back issues, I
Yeah.
think. But where's he? I mean, come on, get
He's
your
on-
lineup intact.
He's on the other side of the tub.
Yeah, he's on watching Royce. So I don't know. I mean, maybe these guys are hurt worse than they tell you they are. I don't know.
How hurt can you get playing baseball.
Well, that's a good question. Unless you get hit with a ball. I see that part of it. And the Twins, like almost last year, I think they said led the league in hit by pitches.
Yeah.
So Castro gets hit like almost once a game.
We were talking about the other day, the greatest of all Hall of Famers and all this. So they were comparing LeBron to Ovechkin. Who has the better record? I mean, as far as scoring and all that kind of stuff. This guy goes, I don't think LeBron would last too long in a hockey game.
No.
So you got someone beating you, you're hitting you with a stick and doing this and taking you out, and because they were kind of comparing the longevity of each one's career and
Yeah.
what they've succeeded in. So,
Well,
and he
that's-
played with only one team.
Ovechkin?
Ovechkin.
Oh yeah, he's only played with one. Yeah,
Yeah.
only Washington.
So
I think his
Rec-
accomplishment is probably a lot more impressive than LeBron's.
yeah, but there's still only, like I told you earlier, there's only one great one.
Well, Gretzky, nobody will ever surpass his total points.
No,
Because he had, I don't know how many assists. It must have been over 1,000,
yeah.
I'm assuming. So, because Ovechkin isn't a big assist guy.
yeah. Timberwolves.
Blew a 24-point lead against the Bucks, dropped them to 8th place, so now they're still in the play-in game, but they're only like a game out of 4th.
Right.
So if they can win their last, 3? Is it 3 games now?
Yep.
They could jump up as far as 4th and get, well, depending on how other teams do, and then get a home court
Yep.
advantage in the first round. But they don't want that play-in game, unless you're 7, because then you're playing at home, and that's a lot better than having to go on the road.
When you look at it, they can put 3 in a row together. I mean,
Oh.
I really have a hard time watching it even more now than I did before because
No.
it's just not basketball anymore.
Mm.
When you got a 7'2" guy shooting threes because he can't play inside, that tells you where the game's gone.
Are we running over?
No, it's
Oh, we got a couple more
Grizzlies,
seconds.
Nets, and the Jazz.
Okay.
The last 2 are at home.
Yep, and then the Wild got Kaprizov and Eriksson Ek back,
Back.
and Ek scored 4 goals last
Yep.
night, and Kaprizov had 2. Funny.
And he had
how
the
that
winning,
works out.
winning
Yeah.
goal. So,
Funny how that works out.
but
So that,
anyways, just remember, folks, right after the draft, go out and get your new Viking jersey with the new name on the back.
All right.
We will
end
keep it a
there.
surprise,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's true. We'll keep it a surprise. For Mike Egan, I'm Gary Giambetti. We'll see you again on Home Team Advantage.
For over 25 years, U.S. Bank, located at 211 East Howard Street in Hibbing, Minnesota, has provided office and studio space for Hibbing Public Access Television. We are thankful for their ongoing support. Up North Lettering specializes in embroidery and heat vinyl press applications, along with patches and letter jackets. For more information, call them at 218-966-7850. HPAT would like to thank them for their donation and support. Hibbing Public Access TV may be viewed on these platforms: hpat.org with video on demand, Mediacom Hibbing 802, 805, and 807. On Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Download the Hibbing Public Access TV app for your iPhone and Android devices. Find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo. For more information, scan the QR code and go to hpat.org.